At first, it was just another quiet morning. No alarms, no screams, no signs of a struggle. Nancy Guthrie didn't vanish in the dark of night. She didn't leave behind a crime scene soaked in chaos. She simply stopped existing, and for weeks, silence was all investigators had, until one message changed everything. A message so unsettling that it pulled the FBI into a case many believed had already gone cold. Who was Nancy Guthrie? Before she became a headline, Nancy Guthrie was a person, a routine, a presence, a life rooted in ordinary details. Friends describe her as reliable, the kind of person who returned calls, showed up on time, and never disappeared without explanation. She had habits that didn't teach Angels Alley, and a daily rhythm that made her absence immediately noticeable. That's what made the first 24 hours so alarming. Nancy didn't miss appointments. She didn't ignore messages. She didn't just walk away. When she failed to appear where she was expected, concern turned into fear almost instantly. The last confirmed sighting of Nancy Guthrie was unremarkable. No arguments, no dramatic farewell, no indication that she believed she was in danger. That's often how the most haunting disappearances begin quietly. Her phone stopped responding. Her routine collapsed. Time kept moving. Without her, by the time authorities were notified, the most crucial hours had already slipped away. Local law enforcement moved quickly. Search teams canvassed nearby areas. Friends and family retraced her steps. Investigators reviewed what little digital trail was available. There was no forced entry, no abandoned vehicle, no obvious crime scene, just absence. And absence is the hardest thing to investigate. From the start, the Nancy Guthrie disappearance refused to fit into a neat category. It didn't look like a planned disappearance. It didn't resemble a clear abduction. It didn't follow the pattern of a voluntary escape. Every theory raised more questions than answers, and as days turned into weeks, the case began to feel disturbingly still. 2. In missing person cases, silence can be dangerous. Without tips, sightings, or communication, momentum fades, public attention drifts, leads dry up. But in this case, the silence felt intentional, as if someone was waiting. Then it happened. A message surfaced. Not a dramatic confession, not a ransom demand, just enough to raise alarms. Authorities have been careful about what they reveal, and for good reason. But what is known is this: the message contained information that only someone closely connected to the case would know. It wasn't random, it wasn't harmless, and it wasn't ignored. Within a short time, the FBI became involved. Federal agencies don't join cases lightly. Their involvement signals one thing clearly: this was no longer routine. The message suggested possible interstate implications, digital tracing requirements, a level of sophistication beyond local jurisdiction. Most chilling of all, it implied that Nancy's disappearance might not be accidental or isolated. Investigators began re-examining everything: phone records, online activity, past interactions that once seemed insignificant. When a case shifts like this, it means one terrifying possibility: someone has been watching the investigation. Officials have been deliberately vague, a strategy often used when they believe a suspect may be listening. They want to confirm who sent a message, when exactly it was received, what technology was used, whether Nancy herself could have sent it. That silence is intentional and unsettling. In true crime investigations, messages like this serve a purpose. Sometimes they are a test of control, a psychological game, an attempt to redirect suspicion. Other times, they are cries for attention or warnings. Whatever the motive, the message succeeded in doing one thing perfectly: it reignited fear. As news of the message spread, the mood shifted. People locked doors earlier. Neighbors questioned unfamiliar faces. Ordinary routines suddenly felt fragile. Because when someone disappears without explanation, and then a message appears, the fear becomes personal. If it can happen to Nancy, it can happen to anyone. Time doesn't just pass in missing person cases. It erodes. Memories fade. Witnesses move away, evidence degrades. That's why the message mattered so much. It proved that the case wasn't dead. Someone still knew something. Investigators began reconstructing Nancy's life backward. The last conversation, the last place she visited, the last digital footprint she left behind. In cases like this, the truth often hides in the smallest detail. A routine change, a misset color message that felt harmless at the time. Families of the missing live in a painful limbo. No closure, no goodbye, no certainty. Hope becomes both a lifeline and a wound. The new message reopened that wound, but it also reopened the possibility that Nancy could still be found. There's a question no one wants to ask out loud. What if the message wasn't meant to help? What if it was meant to remind everyone that someone is still in control? As of now, Nancy Guthrie remains missing. The investigation remains active. Federal and local agencies continue working together. Authorities urge anyone with information, no matter how small, to come forward. Because sometimes the smallest detail becomes the key. Nancy Guthrie is not just a case number. She is a reminder of how quickly normal life can shatter. Proof that silence can be weaponized, a symbol of unresolved truth. And as long as her story remains unfinished, the question lingers. Who sent the message, and why now? Some disappearances fade into forgotten files. Others refuse to be quiet. Nancy Guthrie's story is still speaking, and somewhere between the silence and that chilling message, the truth is waiting. What do you think that message really meant? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe to Stargossip Hub, where mysteries are not forgotten and stories never fade.